Welcome to the 2013 Rolex Big Boat Series here in San Francisco Bay, hosted by the St. Francis Yacht Club. I'm Annie Gardner, and I'll be your host this weekend. This is a 4-day event. It's the 49th running. There are 107 teams coming from all over the world with over 600 competitors. There are 10 classes, 6 are one design, and 4 are under handicap rules. Now we have some special things that are happening within those classes. The HPR Nationals are taking place, the J120 North Americans, the IRC West Coast Championships, then the Melges 24 Pre-World Championships, and they have the largest class with 38 yachts competing. Also, we have multi-hulls, of course, but after the 34th America's Cup, we would expect that.
This year, coming out to Rolex Big Boat Series, we decided that we needed to get a bit more practice. We've been sailing in the northeast, obviously a lot lighter winds out there, sea breezes, and you've really got to reconfigure the crew and the boat and just get used to these unique conditions here in San Francisco.
San Francisco is such a great venue. We love it. We love sailing here. So it's one of the more challenging race courses in the world, as we saw over the past few weeks, and that's why we're here.
I think we're the oldest boat here, but it's going to be fun. This is my first Big Boat Series. This is going to be awesome. Here we've had a lot of training so far, so I think we're all dialed in here, ready to go.
We've had a forecast, and it's been 2 different ideas. One says wind out of the north and a little bit light. Other forecast is no way. It's going to be great today, blowing out of the west up to 20 knots. We'll see what happens, but let's go check in with one of the chairs of the event, Norm Devant.
What's new for the Big Boat Series this year is a split of courses and locations for starts and finishes. So the goal this time was to move the starting line up off of Alcatraz, and we're going to set a mark right underneath the bridge, just right out of the shipping lanes. So we're going to do some laps outside the bridge and back in. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to go do some reaching again. There is a lot of passing when it's windy if you can technically sail the boats on reaches. So we're just making them do other stuff, which is just going to make it more challenging. And I think a more level playing field, because there's not a lot of local knowledge to go on for those courses. When you start off of Alcatraz and you go out that north side of the Golden Gate Bridge, things are different. So people have to figure out how to get there. Every year, that's the big goal, just to continue to raise the bar.
Well, for anybody that was relaxing this morning with a 1-hour delay, they are on fire right now. The multi-hull's getting ready to start in 5 seconds. Here they go. Course number 8. It's 17.7 miles. The wind is fresh, and it should be great racing. Tacking onto port right away, BMW Yachts and Smart Recruiters, the Extreme 40. And in Division A, it's a match race between Vesper and Beacom, 2 of the largest monohulls in the whole fleet. And getting ready to cross the line is Division A and B, 7 yachts, fresh breeze, course number 6. We've got about 19 knots, and it's 14.65 miles. Beacom started to leeward Vesper, now not able to live there, tacking away over to the starboard side of the course, and they might be going for the cone. HPR class now approaching the line. It looks like the leeward end is favored. They're all fighting for it. Smallest boat, Wicked. Largest boat, Tequai. And the rest of them, all 6 of them, very similar ratings. Tom Seabell's Mod 70 with a rock star crew of Peter Eisler and Charlie Ogletree running down the bay full speed. Well, right after the America's Cup Match Racing Series, we have a match race here between Beacom and Vesper. Beacom ahead, covering, going towards City Front. At the top of the beat, the wind went left. Vesper ahead now of Beacom, coming into the top mark. Both teams have been out here practicing all week, and now the crew work and maneuverability is going to come into play. Jibe set, and it's a split. It's a bear away on Beacom. The Schumacher 54 Swiftsure, the largest monohull in the fleet, rounding now. Almost on ley line here for the top mark. It's Bodacious. John Clauser's One Design 48. We heard they were going to try some new things this year, and Diablo Point is one of them. This is the Mod 70 going for the top mark now. Orion looking for her star, heading downwind towards the bridge. Favorable current and favorable wind right here in the middle of the bay. And from St. Francis Yacht Club, Payne's Whiplash, the McConaughey 38, checking into Alcatraz. Rock and rolling down the cine front. It's the Far 400 owned by Bernard Gerard. Rock and roll. The Reichel Pugh 44, Daniel Thiemens, Tay Kwai. And looking downwind, they're going to the left gate, heading back up towards the Alcatraz cone. And it's all about crew work at this mark. Spinnaker down, jib in, main in, rocking up on the port tack. And that was Whiplash again. And in the HPR class, the J125s all bunched up at the bottom. They still have a big race to go. That split at the top gave Vesper the race. They have a huge delta on Beacom now, heading towards the finish. And taking line honors in IRCA of the first race of the Rolex Big Boat Series, it's Vesper. And it's Beacon crossing the line now. The breeze was down, but it's filled in very nicely for the start of race number 2 and the J120 fleet. All clear. Flood current very strong right now, hence a little bit late start, but most of the boats tacking off to go get some relief underneath Alcatraz. Express 37 starting now. With a delay to adjust the line, the wind and the sea state has picked up. It's 15 to 20 knots right now. The second largest class out here, the J105s. 22 boats fighting here for the pin-in. After one false start, the fleet is off again. 12 different countries here, plus boats from all over the United States competing. Looks like one boat in a lot of trouble here. Caught on the anchor line of the race committee boat. That port tack starter caused it all. Got some carnage happening here in these conditions. still having trouble getting off the race committee boat. They must have hit about 4 times by now. The J105 going up their first beat. Most of the fleet has split. There's a decision to go right or left. We'll see what happens at the top. Fade out. Bouncing off the municipal pier, it's a J105. And in the background, it's the Fort Mason Center. The boat's coming in here, flatter water, trying to find some relief from that flood tide, but maybe a little less wind too. All the J105s now converging on the city front. In the background, the America's Cup Village. And here comes the Express 37s with Golden Moon leading the charge. And leading the charge around the offset mark, it is Risk, number 196. And in second, it is Akula, followed by Mojo. A lot of action here at the offset mark. And it looks like it's full throttle leading the pack in the Melges 24 class. Swiss team looking good, hiking hard. The Ultra making a big dip. And it's full throttle, never taking off that gas pedal, stretching their lead, playing the ships very nicely. And it's Blue Moon in second place. Oh, and Mikey just nailing that mark. Rosebud coming in behind them, that's Terry Hutchinson taking the inside. Each team having different ideas of how to get those Jennekers up. BMW Yacht Sport just rounding that mark twice as fast as the boats in front of them. The 300 never give up, and look at these guys all in the back of their boat just planing downwind. So that's Bandit right behind Argo Campbell's Rock and Roll. And from St. Francis Yacht Club, it's Jason Woodley and Scott Whitney aboard Risk leading the charge around Alcatraz. And getting ready to round, it's Risk, followed by Blackhawk. J120s tacking off of the St. Francis Yacht Club waterfront. And crossing the line, it looks like neck and neck between Full Throttle and the Swiss team. After this morning's uncertainty, today turned out to be a beautiful day of racing here on San Francisco Bay. And the teams, well, they had some e-ticket rides out there. Tomorrow's forecast, we're not sure. It could be a little bit lighter, but again, we have to wait and see. For the Rolex Big Boat Series, I'm Annie Gardner.